gonna show up. Oh shit. Touche.
Got me with that a couple weeks ago, boy.
I'm just physically exhausted. I don't know what to say.
Dang, are Kenny and Pete both physically and mentally here in a week?
Dog,
Never.
I threw up on the 4th of July and I'm a different person now. I threw up on my negative.
Drop it. So
I did drop it.
Snitching on yourself. He's lucky my party was a bust too. Otherwise, he would
That was the highlight.
Otherwise, he would have went viral.
Yeah.
So we missed our moment. I only throw up like once every 2.5 years.
Nah, you would have ended the party. Anyways, we've been
Nah,
like, this
I've partied with you before, bro.
This man looks like...
I've seen you, like, you always blew up a fucking dorm room apartment trying to light a spliff on the stove. I remember. I was there.
You guys ever done knife hits off the stove?
Allegedly.
I've never done a knife hit. I don't even... That sounds like some New Mexico shit.
Wait, a knife hit?
Straight up is.
That's dark. There's like
I don't know why the
different...
sound effects are on full effect. But
I don't know why when you said knife hit, I was like, that's some Tila Tequila, Paris Hilton, Cosby shit. Like, that's a wild story.
is that your screen protector that's all cracked?
Oh, no, I dropped my phone. I thought I lost my
that
phone.
just happened, huh? Your
Last
phone wasn't
night.
like that, yeah.
Last night, it's never like that. But
What's your week been, bro?
It's been a week, bro. I'm mentally and spiritually tired. I'm exhausted. My nephew won't fucking go to sleep. He won't go to sleep until he sees me. And then he has
Now
to
just
hold me.
imagine how the people below you feel.
No, he's actually a very quiet baby. He's a very quiet baby.
But in 9 months, I'm not gonna be saying
He's
that.
loud enough to where like we hear it, but nobody else hears it. So it's like almost our own personal hell.
Louder.
It's gonna get
And
louder.
louder.
It's instinctually gets loud. Like he gets the low
Oh,
whimper,
it gets-
and then it goes. Ah.
Oh, and that pitch is going to go way high.
Ah.
It's going to go high.
Ah.
And it's
And now
going
he's-
to ring your ears.
I'm just like, I know what he's gonna. I'm like, fuck, he's gonna start. Like I wake up.
And then just wait till you're sleep training him. I'm just sleeping there.
Just put him in the kennel.
He's just crying.
Baby should get kennel training. Is what you're saying?
It's a puppy, right?
But yeah, folks, welcome to Thursday Nights with the Touchdowns and Tangents crew.
He's
live
6
from
weeks
the
and
Good
he's
News
crawling.
Sports Studio. Shout out to FBC Radio. Shout out to X Squad affiliates. Shout out to Eric in the house after a few weeks hiatus, getting his move together. Welcome back, sir.
Thank you for letting me come back.
And to my right, of course, is Kenny, Mr. Never Eat a Bag of Cheetos Again.
Dog, I just. Yeah, Cheetos are off for the rest of the year.
Just gross.
Yeah, this man.
Don't
this
even
man,
say Velveeta cheese around.
This man threw up a plate full of Tostitos cheese dip, like the
threw
stuff
up-
they have at the Super Bowl. Your white
and I
friends.
didn't eat cheese dip.
Yeah,
Like I threw up all my inner demons.
but the worst part was
I threw up childhood
the
trauma.
worst part was like
feel
he
better.
did this whole like fucking Exorcist times Uncle Ruckus collab where his eyes like open wide and he blinked like twice and he looked like I don't know, man.
like the dude in Street Fighter.
Yeah, you look like you got possessed by that Stingometer ghost, and then just threw
Stinkmeter?
and just threw
I
up.
thought you were
bro.
gonna say a fat demon.
Maybe a fat demon, the fat ghost from Casper.
Yeah, like literally. like,
Fatso.
Yeah, that's his name.
Fatso, that was his name.
Forgot.
oh shit, I didn't know that.
That's what I want to remember those.
I just remember the chick
can't
who
say
was
the
like
other two.
who was kind of a MILF, but she was an aunt, and she died in the Casper movie, and she came back as like a stacked ass ghost, and I was like, wow, y'all doing this is a kids movie, like her titties are just out.
Hey, it's got to entertain mom and dad too, man.
It was a kids movie. It was Casper. It was a kids movie, and I was like, I'd see. And she's wearing a red dress. Like now, that's the
Bro,
only
you
thing
were
I'm
looking
saying.
at titties when you were 2 years old. We already been over this in your church habits.
Okay, first off, whoa.
Church.
That was in church, but that you're conflating two different stories. I don't appreciate it. My mom was told the story, and the fucked up part is the chick who's like, whose breast I sucked when I was 3 in the church. Like my mom told me she died a couple years ago, and she's like, you might have broke up her marriage too. I
She
was like,
probably possessed you, grabbed your stomach, and threw all that Cheetos up.
Dog, I don't know, man.
She
I don't
knocked
know.
your mouth out with Cheetos, bro.
Bro, a lot happened Monday, in a short amount of time. A very short amount of like
at one point,
35 minutes.
At one point, Kenny admitted he might have diabetes. That's how blacked out he was.
I was like, bro, is this diabetic nerve pain I'm feeling in my stomach? This is ridiculous. And then like the stupid ass Purge movie. Stop making Purge movies.
Right?
Stop.
I heard the new one was okay.
It's because we live in a dystopian fucking society. It's just trauma.
I mean, that's
porn
what
for,
all
like,
the best shit on TV is.
Nah, there used to be really like, bro, go
Now,
watch
though.
Homeward Bound.
Go
The
watch
movie about
Anaconda.
Go watch fucking Tool Time.
First off, why would I watch Tool Time?
Tool Time.
The guy from the show that everybody liked is
Everybody
dead.
Loves Raymond.
Nobody fucking liked Raymond that I know.
Watch King of fucking Queens.
King of Queens was actually a pretty decent show.
Yeah, actually,
Don't be disrespectful. Don't fucking be disrespectful. Okay?
Okay, but nowadays, like, we had all those shows. Now,
You ever watch
nowadays,
Mama's Family?
Nowadays, they just have fucking
Nobody watch Mama's Family?
10 different versions of fucking The Real World and Fortnite combined.
Bro, I remember I was over at your house one time and listening to the Madden soundtrack. And I
That
was
was just this last time.
that was all the same day?
That was all the same day, bro.
Bro, I was like, why the fuck does it sound like 7 people rapping on one track and it's 10 songs? And I'm pretty sure I just heard the same 3 people rapping in a different cadence. This whole soundtrack is bullshit.
It's pretty much the
Madden soundtrack
hip hop track by like the one dude in the family who likes a bunch of rock music, and this is just like the rap music that he can stand.
Like literally, like me.
Sounds like your assistant principal put it together.
Yeah, sounds like Principal fucking Drago, my senior year of high school. Fuck that guy. He was a stooge. But like literally,
Now he works at Fox Sports, and now you'll never get there. I'm just kidding.
that unnecessarily was just violent. That was a chaotic evil for no reason.
Damn, bro. The way he's holding his hand right now looks like he kind of has a nub.
A nub or a knife? What?
Like
Or
you're
a
missing
knife.
your arm.
Oh no, it's just like a way I've learned to stretch my shoulder out when it's in pain. Because that's what my life is now, just pain. And like this podcast.
Well, I'm just saying, if you lost your forearm, you'd be able to pull it off.
That was such a corny fucking dad joke.
All right, man. So with that, let's get into the NFL news this week.
I'm mad. Like, no, that was really a corny ass dad joke.
No, I'm just saying, like, it kind of tripped me out. I looked at you fast, and I was like, oh, shit, did Kenny lose his arm? I was like, nah, it's just behind his back all suspiciously.
What is behind his back? Is it a gun? Is it a knife? Is it a rabbit in a hat? Like, but yeah.
Yeah, so the big news this week, not former, but first round pick of a few years ago out of Arizona State, Carnell, say it right?
Nah, N'Keal Harry.
N'Keal Harry.
By the way, stop giving your kids commas and shit in their names. Where it's just like,
Is he Nigerian?
Huh?
Is he Nigerian?
I have no idea.
So what if that's just part of his culture?
Nah, fuck that. He's probably not Nigerian. Google him. You know everything about Arizona State football players. Especially
Anyway,
when they do
so
USC.
pretty much first round pick of the Patriots a few years ago.
Play tight end at this point.
They were already rumored about trading him early last season before the deadline, but now he officially wants a trade out of New England. There are rumors about him getting cut anyways. So they're saying maybe a 6th round pick. I know like last year they were trying to get like a 1st or a 2nd, but they're saying this year a conditional 6th round pick for him. What do you make of it, Kenny? Where do you think he should land?
At tight end on a different team like Kelvin Benjamin with the Giants. Yes, Kelvin Benjamin is a tight end.
Isn't he faster though?
He's faster, but only by a little bit.
Well,
what's the bench press reps.
His biggest issues is his hands, right? Consistency with his hands.
And also, he only had like 86 targets in like 2-3 years. Like, he showed up when Tom Brady was there. Like, the system was never conducive for him. It was never a right fit for him.
Yeah.
They would have just made him a big possession receiver when he can actually do other things. So, yeah, he'll probably make it on somewhere else, but I'm I mean, maybe Chicago if they trade him.
I don't know. I think the other thing too is like the Patriots receiving corps is usually just a hodgepodge of like first round pick washouts.
They flop
and
on
like
all their first round picks,
mid round picks that they took that like actually are kind of decent, and then they just kind of filled a group of guys that end up being like solid in the middle of the pack. So I feel like that's part of it too. Is like you just have like a culture of like a receiver room that's always changing hands and interchangeable. It's like it's not always the best environment for a first round pick to kind of come up in and develop.
Yeah, pretty much. And now they have to find an offensive identity, and that's why they went on sign those free agents because, we actually have to build an offense back up. And yeah, we could use N'Keal Harry, but when you if you make it to the NFL, you're obviously not a bum as a football player.
Wow.
Unless you're like...
That's never stopped you from calling somebody a bum.
But, like, if you don't put in the work and you're a total bust, then yeah, you're a fucking bum. You got to, like, the precipice of where you wanted to be, and then you just took a shit and said, okay, that's fine. I'm cool where I'm at. When there's somebody who would kill to be where you're at or never got a chance because they didn't go to the right school. Like an HBCU or whatever. But that's why I'm so mad at Jamarcus Russell.
That's random.
Like, bro, you killed Notre Dame. You checked all the boxes. All you had to fucking do was just stay in shape. But also, it wasn't really necessarily all his fault because that Raider team was awful.
And he lost a lot of people.
He lost a lot of people. Calvin Johnson and Adrian Peterson would have been better fits. Adrian Peterson is a Raider. Might have changed the whole trajectory. But anyway, N'Keal Harry. Again, he had 27 bench press reps at the combine.
He still has a chance.
He needs to get
in the right situation.
He's strong as shit and fast enough. His agent called him a premier deep threat or whatever. But I'm just saying, and he does not get open on deep routes.
He was born in Canada.
Okay, that tells you everything I need to know. OVO side of the game. He's party next door. It's weekend adjacent. House of Balloons side of the game. But honestly, yeah, he could probably play tight end. Worst case scenario. You have 27 bench press reps as a wide receiver, and you run a sub 4.5. I might try you as a tight end. Gonna be honest.
2-time first team All Pac-12. Last season had 45 receptions for 414 receiving yards. How about in Green Bay?
So Alan Lazard, they're practically the same player.
Are they though? But Harry's a lot more athletic.
Well, Lazard had much more targets and catches and shit at Iowa State compared to Arizona State. But Arizona State probably had a slightly better team, even though it's the Big 12. And like the third best team in the Big 12 was probably better than the second best Pac-12 team. But yeah, he wants to get traded.
All right, other news this week. Some shit we've argued about way too much for no damn reason. The XFL and the CFL partnership, they've got on record saying they're no longer pursuing an official partnership, but maybe down the line they'll work together. So, Kenny, as the only person who cares about secondary football leagues, what do you think about it?
Hey, man, you gotta... I'm just saying, I'm not just saying that it's a great place to take a side piece, but I'm also saying, you know...
Stupid.
I'm also just saying that, like, if you can go watch spring training, why can't you enjoy secondary football league? That's all I've been saying this whole time. Like, you'll go, people, like, make it a yearly, like, a lifetime thing to watch fucking spring training in New Mexico, am I right?
Arizona.
But, like...
Next state over.
Still, it's like, yeah, you know...
That's
it's
also
hot,
part of the
more shit
United
to do.
States, too, just in case you didn't know either.
Yeah.
And not everybody speaks Spanish there. And they do speak English very well.
I would assume like New Mexico's not even a Spanish-speaking state.
It is. Well, no, I mean it's
vaguely.
I mean it's
adjacent.
Yeah,
It'll get you a discount on that rock.
I think people. Wow.
They may call you bro a lot. And like, hey man,
like what the fuck? Did you come from Hawaii? Like,
no man, from the border. Charlie Holmes.
Charlie. But nah. I mean, the XFL said they're going to start back up in 2023 instead of next year.
Wow, another punt down the line. Kenny would be the only one at the gate waiting for the XFL in 2023.
I mean, this is like the their third try. I mean, they had stuff going on. I mean, this is
already the third try of this third regime.
It's a totally different ownership group.
At the same time, though, if it weren't for COVID, they had a chance. They were doing something pretty exciting and everything. But at the same time, I think there was too many secondary leagues going on because you have the CFL, you have the XFL, you had what was the other one?
AAF.
Yeah, the AAF. But they had TV partnerships. They had some ratings. They weren't great ratings, but the XFL was actually starting to pick up, and it wasn't like the professional wrestling that they did. What, in the 90s or early 2000s, where
we like to forget.
From what it sounds like is
legitimate football.
From what it sounds like is the XFL, like I said before, was too short-sighted, and that's why they ultimately didn't fail. So now they're looking at the CFL and the AFL because they were talk to them too, because like
piggybacking off each other.
Exactly, because they have a long-standing like
TFL
they've existed. So
the Canadian government
versus the XFL.
$30 million that they
so pretty much those leagues
year.
are like, hey, let's get some XFL and some Rock Cloud, and we'll show you how to do operations and logistics and actually make this shit sustainable. But ultimately, I guess for whatever reason,
totally fine.
But for whatever reason, I guess too many chiefs in the kitchen, shit just breaks down.
Dear God, this man can't speak. He said too many chiefs in the kitchen. How do you fuck up?
Like, if you have too many Chiefs fans in the kitchen, bro, have you had too many Chiefs fans in the kitchen?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a good problem to have.
It's not a fun party.
Yeah.
The barbecue's great, but the meat's undercooked. Or the meat's great, but the sauce is not there. It's zesty. There's too much cilantro. Which, by the way, shout out to my little sister. You use way too much fucking cilantro when you cook. Stop it. Stop it. I don't know. I know you love cilantro. It's your thing, sis.
Bro, my friend did a hot take on tacos and said, like...
Okay, was it disrespectful?
It was kind of disrespectful.
Did you put hands on him?
He was like... He ordered his tacos with just cilantro, bro. I was like, what the fuck is this? I was like, bro, I'm over here fucking choking. Like, you literally just had them chop up some parsley and throw this shit on these tacos, bro.
Parsley won't hurt you. Cilantro hurts you. It gets in your brain and then just erupts.
No, cilantro's good for your brain.
It's
good brain food.
Cilantro's great for you, and it gets precious metals out of your body. But, like, you're just going to eat pure cilantro?
Exactly. But then his take was like, why do I need onions, bro? They spend all this time marinating the
Grill
food.
the fucking onions.
Blah, blah, blah. He's like, and you're just going to throw some fucking raw onions on there? You can't even taste the meat. You just taste the fucking raw onions.
Well, I agree. People are lazy when they don't grill onions at restaurants. As someone who
it's just a different flavor, though. Like,
bro.
yeah.
You have to grill onions.
You could do both.
Have you had a sauteed onion?
Yeah.
Shit made you feel sexy.
But it's a different flavor.
Shit made you feel good.
It's like dark chocolate and milk chocolate, bro.
No. Dark chocolate is like dark chocolate. Like
that's raw onion.
Raw onion can be great in like a dip or a certain kind of thing.
Like dark chocolate.
Or even on a taco.
Yeah, but
on a taco.
You can hide raw onion. You can't hide dark chocolate. Unless you're putting
you can't really hide
sometimes
onion.
You don't want to hide it.
You'll see the onion, but you can hide the taste. Like,
it's there.
Like if you put in some ceviche, like
it's just blended with other shit.
Like if you get some ceviche, you're not gonna be like, oh shit, there's a whole lot of onion in here.
No, you need the onion.
Yeah, you need the
That's
onion.
What I'm
That's
saying.
what helps cook it.
It's a vital piece.
Yeah.
Which means onion is a team player. Cilantro, depending on how much you use, isn't really a team player. And to have a dry ass taco with no sauce.
And just cilantro, bro.
Just cilantro. You couldn't put a squeeze of lemon on that bitch? Pour some beer on your taco. I don't give a fuck. Like, But don't give me a taco with just cilantro.
It was like eating the fucking shit out of the lawnmower, bro.
I mean, what's a taco without salsa, you know?
That's true.
How you
Salsa
not
can
gonna
make
put-
or break a taco.
Bro.
Shout out to my grandpa. He would always send the chili back if that shit tasted like it was from yesterday.
Bro, at least grill the taco shell. Don't give me a raw taco shell, a cold taco shell, and
That's
too
poverty.
much too much
That's
onion.
poverty, bro.
You didn't cook nothing but the meat, you son of a bitch. Like, what is wrong with you? Put some olive oil on the fucking taco, on the tortilla, please. Cook that shit properly. I don't care if you burn the motherfucker, but at least show me you tried. Give me some char, something.
All right, and the last thing we got to talk about this week, Drew Wheelock. I'm sure that fucking joke has been made all week.
That wasn't funny. He almost died, bro. Lug nuts are not a joke.
But yeah, essentially, you want to explain it?
So a lug nut pretty much went through his car windshield at 75 miles an hour when he was driving through Kansas, and he almost fucking died. And the car looked almost worse than Cam Newton's car accident.
Wow.
A lug nut at 75 miles an hour through your windshield, instant fatality, and he was unharmed.
Thank God. Jeez.
That's some Final Destination shit.
Right?
Yeah, for sure.
I don't like. That's why I won't go camping. I don't like logs.
Imagine he becomes a Pro Bowl quarterback now just because of that near-death experience.
That'd be dope. He has the ability and the arm talent.
Now you're rooting for Drew Lock.
I was rooting for Drew Lock when he was throwing 40
You hate
touchdowns in
Missouri
the SEC.
quarterbacks.
No, I hate the system and that they have fucking like 10-yard splits.
Yeah, but
or
Denver doesn't
5-yard
really have a
splits.
chance whatsoever.
They kind of do.
Against Kansas
And he's
City.
going
As a
against
wild card,
Bridgewater.
as a wild card,
You want him to beat out Teddy Bridgewater?
he's not. I mean, they're both going to play. Let's be honest.
Wow.
We know they're both going to play.
I forgot Teddy.
Wow.
Teddy Bridgewater is like a bridge. Is like a rebound bridge. Like you don't want to like move on to somebody else. You just want to stick with this rebound for a while. You know, it's never going to be permanent.
He's like the best friend
It's like when
you
you're playing.
hang out with, and like you're sliding on the side low key, but like
This feels
you
disrespectful.
won't commit to her.
This feels like you're not talking about Teddy Bridgewater anymore.
Nah, I've never been in that situation, but I know people who have.
Asshole. I feel attacked right now for some reason. Me and like all your friends. But let's not get started on that because we already established that you gentrify talking points after somebody tells you stuff.
Wow, gentrify. Jesus.
Wow.
Yeah, he you'll give him some information about New Mexico, and then he'll tell you shit about New Mexico as if he knows more about New Mexico, and he just found out about it 30 fucking seconds ago.
Is it racist to be racist?
Racist. He just soccer mommed you. Yeah, you soccer mom people.
No.
All right, so should we get to college football now?
Oh yeah. But yeah, with the XFL, last point.
Oh my God, bro, this was 3 points ago, but go ahead.
I don't remember the last thing you said. I just know you started making personal attacks.
We were talking about Drew Lock.
Oh, Drew Lock. Oh yeah. Worst case scenario, if he does end up flunking out in the NFL, he'd be like a really great XFL QB, which means he'll just bounce his way back into the league.
I think he's a better XFL quarterback than an NFL quarterback. Yeah, that's that.
If he doesn't develop accuracy, if he like pulls a Jay Cutler and doesn't get better for 15 years, then yeah, he can't. Like you can't live off your arm anymore. Defenses are too sophisticated. Cats are too athletic, which brings me to a thing because I saw something where I'm gonna butcher his last name and I'm already sorry. The Angels' best player, not named Mike Trout.
Honey.
Otani.
Yeah, killing it, like 30-plus home runs. Somebody said they compared him to Babe Ruth, and I'm like, dude, Babe Ruth is so fucking overrated. I'm tired of y'all pulling Babe Ruth out of your ass when you want to talk baseball. First off, he wasn't even the best player when he was, like, playing. He was just the most popular and transcended for his time. Shout out to Sean Thomas when you're talking about it. I'm like,
Okay, that's a pretty big deal.
okay, but so are most of the Negro. Okay, but so
Especially
are
for
most
the
of
60s.
But so were a lot of the Negro League players, and so were the other players on other teams that weren't the Yankees. But since you were a Yankee back then, you're fucking God.
He was also a Red Sox.
Fuck the Red Sox. And I stand on that. But yeah, like, I'm like, yo, you can stop going back 100 years to comparing guys who are great now and arguably better now than the people who played 100 fucking years ago.
I mean, yeah.
Like, dudes back then played with Stickum in the NFL. Dudes back then probably had cork bats. Like, let's really compare apples to apples.
Well, they weren't throwing the heat and stuff like they are nowadays.
You're not throwing 100, like, you're not throwing 105 miles an hour like Aroldis Chapman for shits and giggles.
Right.
Who's hitting that 100 years ago? Yeah, you may be able to do it. Like, it's the same with the NBA. Like, yeah, Wilt was great, but who was, like, it's him and Bill Russell. Like, there's a certain point you go far back enough in basketball, and it's like, okay, 3 or 4 of these guys could play today, but the league is a different space. And with baseball, they always go back to, like, comparing everything to Babe Ruth, like, in Coming to America, the whole Rocky Marciano joke. It's like, bro, you just skipped over Barry Bonds, Ken Griffey Jr., fucking everybody in the 90s. Like, I compare Babe Ruth to Adam Dunn, honestly. If we're being real.
That's disrespectful.
Yeah.
As a hitter?
That was disrespectful.
Okay, fine. I mean, in today's league,
disrespectful.
I don't see Babe Ruth doing the transcendent shit he was doing back then right now. I think he'd be an all-star player. He'd still make the Hall of Fame.
The other thing, though, too, is like,
ton of home runs.
You're doing that Generation Z shit where it's like you're trying to have a good point about, like, how some players are overlooked. But, like,
you also don't have to shit. Future.
You also don't have to shit on things because they're 100 years old.
But
and just
I'm
be
not.
like,
I'm just saying you can't bring somebody 100 years into the future.
You're shitting on Babe Ruth.
You are. You're just saying, like, oh,
no, because I have a different stance for other sports.
100 years ago he was good and he played in.
No, he was great 100 years ago. But, like, maybe I'm pretty sure, like, if you look at what Ohtani's doing, what Tatis and all these other guys are doing, these young guys, like, baseball's
but you're
never
missing
been
the
more
fucking
athletic.
point. You're missing the whole point. The point is not to compare the two and be like, well, this dude came up.
It was a literal comparison.
He's been playing fucking baseball since he was 12 years old, and this dude smoked fucking cigarettes and fucked models. Like,
and was fat.
Yeah. It's the point is we haven't seen a player do this in 100 years. That's the point that they're trying to make with the comparison. Not to just be like, oh, look, check out this old shit from a long time ago. It was much better than whatever the fuck
since
you got
Babe
going
Ruth,
on.
but I'm like, well, you have to include the Negro Leagues, but there were dudes better than Babe Ruth playing.
It's like a fucking Model T and a hybrid, bro.
But again, like
you don't just fucking. You're not saying the Model T is better.
It's
than
like the Autobahn and the
Tesla.
first freeway.
You're not saying the Model T is better than the fucking Tesla. Like, nobody's saying that, bro.
But it started from somewhere.
But we're saying, like, oh, this type of innovation that you're seeing now is comparable to the fucking Model T.
Is Joe Namath the Hall of Fame QB?
Talking out of my ass.
I get what you're saying, but is Joe Namath the Hall of Fame player in today's time? Is he even a starting QB in today's era?
I mean, if he wins
based off who he was as a player.
If he wins a ring, right?
No, fuck all that. Because who he was as a player. An individual player.
What's the last trash QB to win a title?
All the backup QBs on a lot of teams.
When's the last? Name it. Think of one.
There's too many.
Nick Foles.
David Carr.
Nick Foles. Who won a Super Bowl?
Jim Sorgi.
Joe Flacco.
Pretty sure. Jim Flacco.
He was a starter.
Yeah, he was a starter.
But he was
You're
still
disrespectful.
trash. He only had
you don't like Flacco.
He only had one 5,000 yard. Not even 5,000. He only had one 4,000.
They've been a running offense for 10 years, bro.
Anyways.
The Ravens have been running the ball 80% of the time, 10 years in a row.
Kurt Warner.
Since Jamal Lewis.
Kurt Warner.
He's like an anomaly. He's like a fucking variant in time. Because
variant time.
Like, okay, if you break down Kurt Warner's career, it's like, are you a Hall of Famer?
So that's two.
Or did you just have perfect timing?
That's two from the last 10 years, right? So go back the other 10 years. What was the last trash QB? Trent Dilfer? And he did it, what, twice?
Uber trash. Wait, he did it twice?
Or no. Wasn't Trent Dilfer on the Bucks?
With the Bucks, yeah.
Wasn't he on the Ravens, too?
He didn't play on the Bucks. You're talking about Brad Johnson.
Brad Johnson, same dude.
Whose son was LSU.
So basically, another two from the decade before. So basically, Like, you only have a 20% chance of winning a Super Bowl.
Because Tom Brady played.
With the trash quarterback.
And Peyton Manning played. And Aaron Rodgers played. And Eli played. And Drew Brees played.
What I'm saying is,
Joe Namath isn't in the category of any of those
You're
people.
not going to get into the Hall of Fame for winning a Super Bowl, but like,
okay, take Hall of Fame out of it. I'm saying player to player.
Getting that ring still at least warrants consideration.
Forget a Super Bowl. Player to player. Joe Namath, the guy. You put Joe Namath on the Jets right now.
I'm telling you though, if you compare Joe Namath to those trash QBs that I just brought up,
I'd say trash QBs.
He's better than them.
Okay, we already knew that though. He wasn't a scrub, but I'm saying.
What I'm saying is he may not.
Underdog,
what I'm saying is he may not be fucking Peyton Manning and Drew Brees and fucking
Joe Namath.
So he's
Aaron Rodgers.
So he is Joe Flacco.
Yeah. So, but he's better than Joe
With
Flacco.
Brody Croyle's injury.
What I'm
history.
saying, he's better than Joe Flacco.
Is he better than Joe Flacco?
He's better than Joe Flacco.
Is Joe Namath really better than Joe Flacco?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I think so.
Statistically,
Where's Joe Namath? I mean, where's Joe Flacco now with the Jets? Still?
Yeah.
I think so.
No. Yeah. I think so. Yeah.
Wait.
He was at
No,
least
he
on
was
the
at
Eagles.
Eagles. He's on the Eagles.
Yeah, there you go. He's on the Eagles.
Shit.
There you
See, that's a good question though. Like some of these
Is
guys.
Joe Flacco better than Joe Montana? I mean, better than Joe.
I'm about to say that you're gonna struck
by
my
the way,
lightning.
Joe.
You're gonna struck my lightning saying shit like that. It's like Jim Brown. We know could play in this era.
Allegedly.
No. Wow. What? What did you just say, sir?
I said allegedly.
Allegedly, what the fuck? Take allegedly off of it. Jim Brown can play
Did
this
this man
era.
just not get on a fucking soapbox and argue about how we can't say shit from 100 years ago is better just
Jim
because
Brown
it was 100
isn't
years
100
ago?
years
and now
old.
he's doing the same shit. Okay, I'm
Jim
sorry.
Brown was literally the best
60 years
player
ago.
in the NFL.
I'm sorry, 60
Every
years
year he
ago.
played in the NFL.
My bad. 60 years
He
ago.
was so
My
dominant,
bad.
he's retired and said, fuck it, I'm going to get some pussy and go to Hollywood. Like, he was so dominant as a running back.
Well, so did O.J. Simpson.
Didn't he play before the fucking
but-
merger, bro?
Again.
Again. What was he running over, bro?
Okay, so that's like saying...
Little fucking...
that's like saying Mr. Head Slap isn't one of the greatest pass rushers of all time. You don't know who Mr. Head Slap is, do you?
You just don't make no fucking sense, bro.
No, you tell me Deacon
just
Jones.
make
Tell me
no
Deacon Jones
fucking
couldn't
sense, bro.
No, but I'm saying there's certain dudes back then who we know are like all time greats who could play right now. Joe Namath ain't one of them. Joe Namath would be Joe Flacco, which is mid. That's fucking Reggie. Jim Brown, that's next level. At worst, he's Marshawn Lynch.
He's not Marshawn
You think
Lynch.
that low of Jim Brown? Damn.
I don't think low of Jim Brown.
He's not Jamal Lewis, at least. I mean, yeah, Trent Richard
He
broke
didn't
his.
even run physical like that.
What did you just?
He didn't run physical like that, bro.
Did you?
He
ever,
ran different.
Did you ever watch Jim Brown play?
Yes,
Like
I did.
A little bit of footage
yes, I
that's out
did.
there.
Yes, I did.
The
He didn't
motherfucker
run like
ran
that.
people over.
But
Everyone he
didn't.
played against was like, yo, he was shit. He was hell on earth to tackle.
Yeah, because
You
he's
said-
so big and fast. Those dudes
And
are.
strong.
Those dudes are run people over with just their leverage
trying.
and being fucking mad, bro. Like,
So you're telling me a dude before his time couldn't play in the league? That's literally perfect for him.
why? why do you?
Everybody in the league's an animal that could take him down. I mean, it's not like he's Derrick Henry. And
Bro, everybody on the field.
But, I mean,
basically, nowadays, everybody on the field is running
Just like that.
Sub 5.
Agreed. And
Which
tackles
was
are starting to
not
run
which was
4.6.
not the fucking case back then, bro. I'm sure you had
And
some
there's
5'2" corners back then.
The fact that like
Fucking Jeffrey, I don't know.
Okuda.
No, I'm trying to think of the whitest fucking name I can think of.
You mean Dick LeBeau has like
Brad
70,
Smith?
has like 70 picks.
Brad Smith.
Dick LeBeau
That's
has
the
like
generic
50 or
route, that
60
one.
interceptions, and I don't know how the fuck that happened. He's like one of the greatest corners ever, Dick LeBeau, and one of the greatest defensive coaches of all time. Go look up Dick LeBeau's stat. It's scary how many interceptions he had. Like a lot. Like more than Dion, if I'm not mistaken.
Bro, but their fucking
So how the fuck did
quarterback
that
play.
happen?
Their quarterback play was shit
terrible?
then.
Okay then. So I'm
It's
saying
not even
this-
a running league like that though, because the players are so big and so fast.
So you're saying,
There's 7 Jim Browns. They're on a defense now, basically.
well, if we're being honest, a lot of cats who would have been switched to play linebacker 10 years ago are staying at running back. Derrick Henry would have been a fucking linebacker 10 years ago had he gone to SC.
Yeah.
I guess.
Or any other. Like, they wouldn't have put him at running back.
All right, man.
He can't do it.
So, can we move to college football?
Yes, indeed. Well, as talked about last week, like the scene in Supernatural when like they kill Azazel, like the first season, I think. Azrael, the yellow-eyed demon, when they kill him and then the fucking gates to hell flood open, and thus begins like a 15-year run of just shit shows and craziness. More and more people are getting paid, being offered these NIL, name, image, likeness deals. But before we do that, and this will be the only time I give UCLA any props, so brace yourself, Pete. Rest in peace to former UCLA football head coach Terry Donahue. He died at 77 years old. This past week is the winningest coach in UCLA football history, and his 98 wins are the most at UCLA history for football and the most in the Pac-12. So yeah. He had the likes of Troy Aikman, Jonathan Ogden, Donnie Edwards, Roman Pfeiffer.
Damn, it's been a long time since USC's been good. I mean, UCLA's been good.
Like
Right.
Deshaun Foster, like, man, he's recruited a lot of great talent. I mean, K. McNown was a piece of shit, as we found out later from people in the media. But yeah, like K. McNown in college was a problem. UCLA was a problem under Terry Donahue, and was going up against the likes of the U at the height of the U. So he did all that, UCLA, and, you know, they haven't had anybody to replace him. Carl Durrell, arguably, I would say, was more successful than Jim Mora Jr. Because he went 10-2, beat the dog shit out of Oklahoma, and Mercedes Lewis is still in the NFL. So
Mercedes Lewis is still in the NFL.
And I remember watching highlights of him just dunk on people at Long Beach Poly. Just disrespectful. At 6'6", just embarrassing cats. And then playing football and just catching touchdowns effortlessly. And then, yeah. And Maurice Jones-Drew. But, yeah. So, secondly, Rutgers wide receiver Carnell Davis. He's recovering after getting his ass whooped in New Jersey. He's playing football with some kids, and I guess like a squabble happened, and the person who beat him up was like 26. He's like a freshman, I think, at Rutgers, class 2021. So he's recovering up at home and all that. But yeah,
Sometimes you lose a fight.
and sometimes when you're a football player and you're super athletic and all that, sometimes that hood dude on the corner has just been looking to get back at you for years.
Just petty as fuck. It's like, you not motherfucking waiting.
He's like, you think you hot shit, don't you? But you know, the streets will handle that situation. However it goes. He played 3 years of football in New Jersey, and then 1 year, senior year, in Florida. And then he's back in New Jersey, so you know how that goes. Playing for Rutgers, homeschool. People see you leave and come back. They're probably mad that he left for that 1 year. You never know what happens. But as one of my high school coaches told me, sometimes you can't go back home, and sometimes you shouldn't go back home. I remember when I was going out visiting family in Oakland in high school, he's like, be careful. Don't go back to some of those old spots you used to kick it at, because you might not be welcome back. And I was like, yeah, you're right. Sad how that works sometimes, because I remember Terrence Kelly years ago. I think he was a class of 2001, maybe? Somewhere around, between 2000 and 2004, something like that. But Terrence Kelly, he was the fourth overall running back in the nation, one of the top players in California. He got murdered by some kid that he knew since childhood because the kid was jealous of him, and like the dad knew who killed Terrence Kelly, and he's like, we could get back at him and the family tonight, but this is gonna cause more bloodshed because the kid Terrence Kelly went to De La Salle and was like supposed to be the next great back. Like he was Jonathan Stewart. He was that kind of dominant. So yeah, thankfully he's okay. Nobody's dead. Because situations like that, it could be easily much worse. So, good luck to him. All right, so Oregon edge rusher Kevon Thibodeau, who went to Dorsey and then transferred to Mission Viejo. I think it was Mission Viejo. Yeah, transferred out there and became a star, one of the top players in the country. Snubs USC, goes to Oregon. Has been a star there ever since he stepped on the field. Is considered like the next Jadeveon Clowney, pretty much, but a better pass rusher. And could be the number 1 overall pick in this upcoming draft. He signed a deal with Phil Knight and Nike to have an NFT regarding shoe designs and then some artwork, some collaborations with Nike. So salute to him. And if you're an Oregon athlete, what better place to get name, image, and licensing deals done than Oregon?
Right. It's
like, holy shit, you should be rolling in bank for the rest of your life. You can become a lifetime employee at Oregon. Just like it, so, it's dope for him. And again, he could be the number 1 overall pick in the draft, depending on how the numbers he puts up this year. Hopefully he'll be healthy and he'll be a full-time starter, because I think he had 9.5 sacks. He was a freshman All-American. He's kid can ball. Also, Texas A&M running back Ainias Smith is going to share his NIL money with his teammates. America Top Team, it's a renowned MMA training facility. The CEO said they're planning to offer every University of Miami football player a name, image, and likeness contract that would pay up to $6,000 a year. It would be about $500 a month. It would consist of social media posts, appearances, things like that. So, and De'Aaron King is already rolling in at least $20,000 in endorsements. So, salute to him. Now that this is happening in Miami, I just want to know, do they forgive that booster that got them in trouble?
Do they get their title back?
That's what I'm saying. And the one thing we know about this country is that once they undo a rule, they usually don't want to give anybody reciprocity who they fucked over once they made it, legal. And I could just not
what
go
was
to
the fucking word you used?
Reciprocity?
Reciprocity?
You don't even know what the fuck that means. You said it different.
Know.
You said it different the second time.
Reciprocity? I actually know what it means, so fuck you.
You can't just keep making up words here, man.
Fine. 3-syllable words at most.
Yes.
But, yeah.
Spell it.
Shut up.
Spell it.
Fuck you. RECIPRO. CITY. Reciprocity.
Hey.
Fuck, bro. I was a spelling bee champion until I got robbed.
The trap spelling bee going up.
Reciprocity.
I spelled it wrong.
I know you spelled it. You spelled it wrong in your head.
I spelled it with the ES.
If you try to spell out words in your head, you might have an aneurysm, so don't do it. I'm worried. Don't even
can't spell and can't talk, so that's 2 things I can't do.
That's why that's really why you didn't do broadcast in college? I get it now.
I guess.
He just tried to say his name. I'm Pete. Pete. Shit, he can't say Pete, and he can't say Camarillo. Nah, it's okay. But yeah.
That was your last name.
I know.
All right, Eric, you want to do this one?
Well, NFL and Twitter extend their deal. Take a tangent.
I honestly didn't look at the details of it.
What's going on with this deal?
Pretty much they just extended their
He don't even know.
No, they
just saw it.
Shut up and let me finish.
He didn't even read the article.
I need some reciprocity, so you need to shut the fuck up.
Well,
Word of the day, reciprocity. But nah, pretty much they're extending the streaming deal with Twitter. It's where they'll have all the same stuff. I don't know the full financial
multi-year
details.
partnership extension, which will include expanded engagement formats and a full season commitment to produce exclusive content on Twitter Spaces. Twitter will also continue to be a home for the game's biggest moments, touchdowns, catches, etc. So pretty much it sounds like they're not going to go back to when they were streaming games. Seems like they're just kind of licensing their content and then also working together to create audio Twitter Spaces because, yeah, I guess motherfuckers are zoomed out.
And now everybody's just going to be off Clubhouse and all.
Yeah, I don't know how well social audio is going to do now, like that people are starting to leave the house, but we'll see. Now that everybody has one.
Is anybody even on Clubhouse anymore?
Don't think so.
I mean, I still
3 months ago.
I still get like invites and things, like reminders, like, oh, this is happening, or hey, join me on Clubhouse. But yeah, pretty much.
I like literally took the app off my phone. I don't know what the fuck people are just saying dumb shit and talking about dumb shit. So I got tired of it. I was like, this is
you were like one of the first Clubhouse stands.
Because they actually had really good conversations, and then they just started letting everybody in, and then like people who were clout chasing just had clout chasing rooms, and then it just got even gross.
And then they all left for Parler or what?
Oh no, they all had fucking Parler. Was it Parler? Or, is that what it's called?
Yeah,
they all had those usernames, and that shit wasn't popping. So then they all went over there. Now that they killed another fucking.
What do you mean, like the names, like Trump Satanist 2020 or what?
Like a lot of people know Parler for like a lot of conservative right wingers and shit.
Well, that's what it was. It was a social network for those people.
So now, once those people got on Clubhouse,
those people,
and they got kicked off Clubhouse or whatever, and now that Facebook and IG and Twitter and all this shit has like their own rooms to where you can just do that functionality anywhere you're at. Now everybody just goes back to what they were doing, or they'll go back on Twitch. So it's not that big a deal anymore. So then you pretty much just killed Clubhouse at its crib. Now Clubhouse has to find a way to rebrand like Snapchat did. But we'll see.
Wonder who said this would happen when you were talking about Clubhouse. Crazy.
I know, right? Somebody said it. Somebody said it.
Well, moving on. Tyreek Hill dusted Aaron Jones in a race.
First off, bro, if you run a 4.5, why are you even challenging somebody who runs a 4.2?
Yeah, it's like until somebody really.
First off, bro, you don't even look faster than Tyreek Hill on film
at all.
I'm pretty sure you're going to have the same 40 time as AJ Dillon, and he's bigger than you.
Didn't Aaron Jones play corner though?
Aaron Jones was a running back at Texas El Paso.
No, I know that, but didn't he play corner too at some point in his career?
No, he's a running back. He came out of
like
Texas El Paso.
All right.
There's a lot of Aaron Joneses running around.
You're right. There are. Wasn't there a Jaguars Aaron Jones back in the day?
Aaron Colvin.
There you go.
Tore his ACL at his pro day, and then he's supposed to be a first-round pick at corner out of Oklahoma, and then ended up, I think he's got a fat contract with the Texans. He's playing pretty. He was balling out with, I think, Jacksonville, and then went to Houston or whoever.
Shout out to UTEP.
I don't know what's up with all these guys that like are trying to call out Tyreek Hill. It's like, unless you're like next generation fast, like speed, like don't call him out. He's like one of the fastest guys in the country, you know, in the world. And it's like this guy just like wakes up and is like Dash from The Incredibles or something like that. He just comes out and just lights you up when he walks, you know.
And he chose to lose speed by getting buffer. He looks like a running back and can damn near play running back with his skill set. And now he's an all-pro receiver.
And he's still fast.
He's an Army brat, too. And a former 3-star recruit.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He went to Oklahoma State and then got in trouble there and then ended up, I forget, with Alabama State or some shit. I forget where college he went to after Oklahoma State.
UTEP.
He went to UTEP, too?
He went to UTEP. He played 3 years at UTEP.
You're talking about Aaron Jones?
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about...
Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Tyreek Hill was to Oklahoma State. But yeah, Aaron Jones killed it at UTEP.
Shout out to Justin Blackman.
Yeah, I mean the thing is,
are you really gonna just skip over? Just skip over Dez Bryant? Like you could just settle for Dez Bryant, but you keep going back to Justin Blackman. I don't understand it. He failed. We know why he failed.
His career went up in smoke.
He had two games where he balled out, and it was like okay, and then he showed
like
nothing
four
else
of those games, bro.
against trash ass teams. Against elite teams, he put up N'Keal Harry numbers.
Wow, you're being disrespectful.
Pull it up if you think I'm lying. Pull up the numbers. Wasn't Blaine Gabbert throwing him the fucking ball?
Exactly.
Don't get me started. Don't get me started on Justin Blackman.
Blaine Gabbert.
He was a bust.
He was.
He was almost a bigger bust than Rashawn Woods. And Rashawn Woods might be the greatest bust in the history. He might be a bigger bust than Troy Williamson. And Troy Williamson.
I'm not even listening to you. You're just talking out of your ass now.
No, Rashawn Woods was Justin Blackman before Justin Blackman. Go back and look at the history of Oklahoma State receivers who went in the first round under Mike Gundy and busted out. Dez is the best. He's the standard. Then Justin Blackman.
I'm just saying,
Rashawn
Blackman
Woods
set
put up
Baltro.
stupid numbers. He's put up stupid record numbers at Oklahoma State. Just look up Rashawn Woods. You don't even have to bleep. You can just Google it right now. Look at your phone, Google it, and you'll see I'm right. Like, I don't know why you test my college football knowledge. Like, you think I'm just going to make this up because I have a beef with Justin Blackman throwing his life away.
So
I'll give
what
you
was
Alden,
the point you're
but
trying to make again?
I'll give you Alden, but
What's
you
the
can't
point
just
you're trying to
you
make?
can't just keep picking guys who fucked up their careers.
So what's your point?
You got like a team of dudes who all have fucking DUIs and like alcohol issues.
So
you just
why can't
stand for them?
Why can't I do that?
Because Justin Blackman ain't been in the public for like 7 years.
Nah, it hasn't been that long.
It's been like 7 years.
It's been like
bro.
3 years.
It's been longer.
It's been like 3 years.
It's been okay. He played with who? Brandon Whedon. Brandon Whedon's been out of the league a minute. Brandon Whedon came before Johnny Manziel.
All I'm saying is
That's how long ago it's been.
This man still has rookie records for completions.
That's fine.
4 touchdowns, 4 yards in a game. Like, he put up rookie numbers comparable to both Jerry Rice and Andre Johnson and T.O.
How'd that work?
I don't know, just 3 of your favorite receivers of all time. But
And
yeah,
what was his 40 time?
he didn't compete at the combine, so I don't know.
He was a gamer. It should have worked.
But yeah, man, I just like to fucking, because like, those are players that aren't going to be remembered because of their stats. But like, player to player, like, you know they were fucking a good player, bro, just by looking at them. Like, lining up between the lines, you know that dude was better than a lot of people who did make it.
Justin Blackman was unstoppable until he stopped himself.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So that's why I just like to shout him out and remember that. Jesus. Is that so much to ask for?
Apparently.
A little bit.
All right.
Because you wedge him in every conversation, and I'm just like, let's talk about,
all right.
I think he might have broke Rashawn. You still haven't Googled Rashawn Woods, Oklahoma State.
Nothing came up. Anyway, moving on. East-West Shrine Game has partnered with the Las Vegas Raiders Stadium in 2022.
I fuck with this. I think that's a good move.
Right before the Senior Bowl, they're pushing it back early.
Because not just that, but you're like essentially creating like a fucking and football conference. Like, all the scouts are going to be there for the East-West Shrine Game. You're going to have a bunch of the stars there for the Pro Bowl and probably vacations thereafter. So it's really just, I feel like it's really just kind of shifting the NFL's focus to like being like, oh, we always got to be in Chicago or New York or Florida. It's like, no, actually, we can do shit in Vegas. We don't need to do shit in Orlando. We can do shit in Vegas.
I mean, yeah.
We have a presence there.
But they should go back to Hawaii for the Pro Bowl.
I agree with that.
They should
I agree with that.
Just keep it in Hawaii. All these Polynesian players in the league, but you don't want to keep the Pro Bowl in Hawaii. Disrespectful.
But I think Vegas will make it more accessible to everybody because Vegas is set up for a lot of people to come in for a weekend and leave.
I mean, just stay there on the Strip, and all you have to do is cross the street to go to the stadium. So,
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, make it like a conference kind of atmosphere, and everybody's there, everything is there. A lot of, nevertheless, just the networking that you can do as something like that is just beyond what you can do in Hawaii and like these other states that you said, and even possibly even here in LA. It's just the networking there.
But even just being somebody who's now a parent, like it's going to be a lot easier to get a flight to Vegas and a hotel room in Vegas for a weekend versus Hawaii. Flight's going to be a lot more. Like probably going to want to have to stay a week at least to like really make it worth it.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I feel like yeah, for sure the Pro Bowl should still be in Hawaii. I feel like that has some like, woo to it. But like this feels like it could be something different and something like equally as cool. Like the new and the old converging together. So I think it's pretty dope.
Indeed.
And hopefully we'll be there.
I mean, it's gonna be in December.
I guess no, January. No,
you said like the story. I think it said like December 8th.
That's like playoffs.
Hold on, let me check.
Yeah.
Well, I think it might be the first week of February because the Super Bowl is pushed back the second week of February now.
Wow, Eric's already looking at the Super Bowl. Look at you.
Well, no, I just remember that because now it's the week. It's the extending of the one more week.
Oh yeah.
So
That's right.
Second week of February.
That's right. True. Good point. All right, so I guess I'll move.
It's like a week before the Super Bowl, but also plus a lot of people aren't gonna really. Like, if you're not in the Super Bowl, you don't really give a shit.
If you're not in the Super Bowl, you don't give a shit about what?
Like
Pro Bowl or playing football.
That's why they have so many alternates getting in. And if you're hurt, and you made the Pro Bowl, you might show up, but it's like, I'd rather be chilling in Vegas.
Bro, but you're not going to fucking Orlando now. Now you're not going to Orlando. You can go to Vegas.
That's what I'm saying. I'd rather be chilling in Vegas.
I'd rather just go there and chill.
Poolside.
You wouldn't have a problem just being like a pro like I'm
gonna go to Vegas.
Like you don't have to go past. You go put on your pads to be in Vegas for a weekend. And go
I have to go past the Mason-Dixon line. And it's great because they have a nightclub in their stadium. So you could just make that a whole family thing for the Pro Bowl. You could hire like a fucking pop star to come in and literally have a concert, and that's the halftime show for the Pro Bowl. Kind of brilliant. Shout out to Mark Davis. Power move.
Well, going on, no players opt out for as the deadline passes.
Yeah, it's a touchdown. Fuck it. COVID's over. No, I'm just playing. Shout out to the Delta strand. We see you out there doing what you do.
Shout out to Delta Airlines.
Shout out to Delta strand doing what you do. 4 times as contagious and 4 times as deadly.
Shout out to Spirit Airlines.
All right, go ahead.
Spirit Airlines.
Probably a carrier for Delta.
How do you feel?
Honestly, like what? Who was gonna opt out?
No.
Who wanted to be the first person?
Who's gonna be that dude?
Who's gonna this Reservoir Dogs? Who's gonna put their gun down first? Okay,
right.
Put your gun down first.
That was already last year. I mean, some people I could see some guys last year really could be like, okay, I just want to take a year off and be able to get that as well as being curious about their health. But it's like 2 years in a row now. And it's like everything's gonna be back to normal. It's like, yeah, I mean, if somebody was like, yeah, I could probably die. But it was like, well, I could have died last year, I guess.
It's like you can't afford to go 2 years in a row.
No, it's 2 years out of your prime of your physical life is hard to do.
I mean, not just that, but like, okay, now we know we can still proceed around it. Like, yeah, we might have to change the protocols, or things aren't the same as they were before. But even so, like, we know the game can persist. So like, you opting out of it it just says more about you than it does about the COVID right now.
Right.
This year.
So I don't even know if there's like any COVID protocols going to happen this year.
Yeah,
there's not.
proceeding.
They're just like I don't even think they're going to be testing or anything like that.
Yeah,
so,
at the moment.
Yeah, so
That's
it's
the way
like
it's
who
going.
knows? But it's like if they
I
were
mean,
going
that was
to,
pretty much their plan last year, and then
Like-
they fucking put together some half-ass procedures. So.
yeah. Whatever.
All right. Next one.
Derek Carr elaborates on his comeback to Tom Brady's "You're sticking with this mother effer" story on the shop.
I don't know what the fuck this is, so
So pretty much, Tom Brady was talking about how certain teams didn't want him in free agency, and he's like, "You're sticking with that motherfucker over me?" Okay. And some people said, "Oh, the Raiders are on his radar, the Bears maybe." Bless you. Like it was like the Jets. There was like 4 or 5 teams on his radar, but they didn't want him.
okay, I know what you're talking about now. Yeah, they were saying that the mystery team was probably the Raiders that he was talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what was Derek Carr's rebuttal?
He's like, "I'm not afraid to fight anybody, pretty much. But I have it on good authority that he wasn't talking about me." I'm like, well, you seem kind of touched because you came out and said, no other QB came out and said something. Even though you're 47
Oh no, man!
and like
I'm tired of the
63.
the QB egos. Like
No, I'm tired of Derek Carr's.
They need to
ego.
have a
It's not
fucking-
justified.
they need to have a tight end summit, but with quarterbacks from California.
It would just become elitist as hell. Or an
Okay,
all,
I'm
all
cool
right-
with that.
Rodgers,
Or an
Tom
all right
Brady.
rally.
I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that.
Stafford.
Like you put enough of those people in a room, and some news is bound to happen. So I'm cool with it,
Yeah, but they're not gonna fight each other. They're gonna be passive aggressive as shit.
which will be dope. I would watch that.
It would be like the Hills.
That'd be cool.
You actually thought
The Hills went
was-
for 3 seasons. Is still regarded as one of like the most transcending reality shows.
That's because it was on the time as what, the OC, which was actually a dope show.
No, it was after the OC. It was by
Exactly.
the same people as the OC.
Exactly. And the OC was scripted. And that shit was actually good. So much so people on the show actually got hooked on drugs after the show went off.
Yeah, but that's just Orange County.
And Misha Barton.
Shout out to the movie Orange County.
There's a movie Orange County.
Yeah, with Jack Black
I did not know.
and that wannabe dude from Accepted, but it's not the dude from Accepted. It looks like it.
It looks like it.
It looks like Owen Wilson is Luke Wilson.
Nah, it's not.
I'm joking.
No.
I'm joking.
All right,
All right,
last
moving
one.
on. Steelers. Oh, you're gonna have to help me with this one. Steelers signed Trai
Trey
Trey
Turner.
Taylor.
Trai Turner. He signs with the Chargers last year.
Is Trey Turner white or black?
Trey Turner's clearly black. He went to
Okay.
LSU. And he's
That's what I thought.
He's blacker than me. He's
That's
darker.
what I thought. But his Madden player be looking the hella light.
Yeah, I don't know why they do that sometimes.
Like that's why I was like,
He's
is
not
it because he's an
light-skinned.
offensive lineman? Like,
Yeah, they're like, fuck this guy.
like
You're a fat.
just insert white template. Like
Give him a.
looking
give him
like Dan Feeney. Like you just gave him the same person as Dan Feeney. Like
let me just color scale him a little bit.
yeah,
But he's like, yeah, because he pretty much is replacing David DeCastro, who got cut by the Steelers.
I think it's a good low risk, high reward move for the Steelers.
Because he was an All-Pro at one point.
Yeah, and that was only 2 years ago. He basically just shit the bed with the Chargers, and
No, he rebounded with the Chargers because he got hurt.
well, he was still hurt with the Chargers.
Yeah, but
He only played like five games or some shit like that. He didn't play that much for the Chargers.
there's hope.
There's hope. Not much.
For the Steelers' offensive line, maybe it's looking kind of rough over there.
All right, and now we move to the rants. Why to get out of here? We're hour and 15 back to back,
Wow.
going back to back.
Because there was shit to talk about this week.
No, there wasn't.
We got through
Got
this.
your
On
attention.
we got through this on the strength of our incredible chemistry and journalistic storytelling.
All right,
And
Eric,
Twitter.
want to start up?
Man, it's a hard adulting sometimes, man. But thanks again for letting me be doing my thing for the last couple weeks. But it's nice to be able to actually sit back and see, things that you worked for your whole life just kind of come together and just be like, cool. And I officially am done moving expensive, of course, stressful, putting everything away.
Dreams come true, folks.
Dreams do come true. So, but it's really good just to be able to sit back, take a breath today, and
Turn it down.
and just to say it's been a nice day.
Amen. That's a good note to lead people on. Yeah, not a whole lot for me. This morning we had a memorial mass for my grandpa. His birthday is 7/11, so it's coming up. But yeah, it was nice. Real small, just mainly us family and some of his friends. But it was cool. I gave the eulogy. Skipped over a couple note cards, which usually happens. I don't know why I always use note cards. I always end up fucking fumbling through them.
It's usually
worse than my words.
You just don't want to fuck up and miss a point. So
but I always end up missing it anyways, even when it's on a note card.
It's a eulogy. You just have to win on a 70% curve. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, it was a nice mass. So ready to just kind of like move forward, and I think if anything else, just remembering him is like just a reminder to just continue to do the best that we can in life and try to have fun and be there for each other, because that's what he wants. So that's where I'm at. And in other news, man, like shout out to Gut Check, my boy Josh Mitchell. We had him on last year. But yeah, man, he's been doing his thing since, continuing to build up clientele, both in high school and in college. He's actually named a couple of NIL ambassadors, one at Fresno State, one at USC. So he's really building his brand up. And on top of that, he just recently completed his home extension, I guess you could say, guest house, I don't know, /gym. But yeah, pretty much the new Gut Check facility is basically his back house, but called it on the show, and talked about how he wanted to build his wife a gym, and while he can't do that, he would start with this. So he made it happen. It's happened. It exists now. It's done, and it's really as good as things been going for him and the brand. It's really just the start. So shout out to them, continuing to build a name for themselves. Hopefully, he can get bigger than Jordan Campbell. Hey, winner circle.
I don't know if that was a shot or like just competitive.
It's good. It's good for the IE.
IE banter.
It's good for the IE. Both.
There you go.
We could have more than one trading powerhouse in the IE. There's enough IE football money to go around for everybody.
It is. Definitely. Whereas like the inner city, it's like there's a plethora of talent, but like all the rich schools poach that talent. So you're like, you live in Lawndale, but you're like a 4-stringer at, pick a high school that's modern day, or, that one in Bellflower that's called St. John Bosco. But yeah, long week for me. Tired. I'm just trudging along. Like sometimes when you're just going through a rough spot where it's just all you see in front of you is the work and no real daylight, you just gotta put your head down and keep working. That's really it for me. A shout out to Coach Travis Clark. His birthday was yesterday. Lawndale legend.
What's up?
Does a lot of dope stuff for the kids. Planning a high school football roundtable. It's coming. Especially with all 3 schools. Like, they're actually preparing for a full season this time around. So, it should be interesting to see how that goes. But yeah, shout out to my nephew. He likes to stay up all hours of the night, in particular keeping me up. And he farted so hard that I thought it was a grown man.
That's gross.
It sounded like a grown man. He shit up his back. Like, I don't know how it got that far up his back. Like, babies are amazing, man. Babies are fucking amazing. The shit that I've seen in the past 6 weeks of his existence. And now he's starting to shoot me looks, like dirty looks and shit. Like he'll crease his forehead and like hit me with the rock eyebrow, and I was like, "You little mother." I was feeding him a bottle, and then like he really didn't want it, and I'm just like, "Bro, you gonna drink this or not?" Because I'm pretty sure like I have a tear, like something's wrong with my AC joint. Holding you actually hurts my arm right now. I'm gonna need you to like drink this and go to sleep, or I can burp you and you can go to sleep. But either way, you need to go to sleep. Shit. But nah, I love my nephew. He's one of my reasons why every day I wake up now. He's
you need him.
He's the wind beneath my wings. He's making me look at pictures of my grandfather and realizing, oh, I'm in my grandfather's place now, and he's in my place now. So it's funny how that circle of life goes. When you start to when it starts to come into place, who you're responsible for as a man, and you know, some days when you're hurting, it doesn't matter that you're hurting. You just got the work got done. That's what matters. So that's pretty much where I'm at. And I'm physically fucking exhausted. It's been a long week.
All right, man. Well, that does it for us this week. Thank you for listening. Shout out to your favorite podcast app where you can find this podcast and audio experience. Shout out to the Good News Sports, the Good News app, X Squad affiliates, FBC Radio, and everyone else who fucks with us. We are out. Peace.
Peace.
Oh, man. Hey.
We love you, though.